Do you, in terms of putting the lyrics together, I mean, I heard that when All Hope Is Gone came about, that was tracked musically, and you went away and wrote the lyrics to that, and then all the other members of the band were like, this is phenomenal, that's the title of the album, and everyone agreed. So have you got maybe preconceived ideas of what you're going to talk about on the new Slipknot album before you've heard any music that anyone's brought in, or does the inspiration from the lyrics get driven from when you hear the music ideas?
I'm going to tell you how he does things. It's the craziest thing. Like, he'll be on the road with Stone Sour writing Slipknot lyrics. He'll be in his car writing lyrics. He'll sit down at practice, go away, sit next to the wall by himself, and write out a whole fucking song, dude. Like, the guy is crazy, like, with it, you know what I mean? And that just shows how hard he works lyrically, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like something he just sits down and opens a dictionary and tries to find cool words or something like that. Like, you know, even though he is the singer in my band, like, I just had to say that to the masses that, you know, it's incredible how he finds his ideas and thoughts about things to write about. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes and he's got 2 songs written. Sometimes he could lay in his bunk for days and, you know, work on stuff. But it's really cool, like, how he does that.
When you actually go out and you play stuff on stage now, I know that the Mayhem Fest is shorter now, but how are you dealing with the set list? Because the band has evolved so much from album to album, it may get difficult to put together songs that flow well into one another when you've got a limited amount of time.
I mean, that's definitely true on this. I mean, we got such a short amount of time on this cycle that we're just like, well, fuck, what do you do, you know? So, we're actually pulling a lot from the first record out, which is really cool, you know? And we're saving the stuff from the new record until we start, you know, doing like the real headlining stuff, you know? But it depends, because now we've got so much material to choose from. We could do like a real cerebral set, or we could do like a real heavy set, or we could almost do a grind set if we wanted to, you know? I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Calling the album All Hope Is Gone, though, obviously there's a track on there and Corey wrote those lyrics, but as a band you must have decided for some sort of reason why that should be the album title.
Well, it kind of found us, you know, I mean, you know, no bullshit aside, it found us, and like all good art, you know, if you're giving yourself to art, you can do it unselfishly, you know what I mean? That found us, and we took that on, and we made it what we are, but it found us, or we found it, whatever. But that's, you know, that's basically what it is. There was no song called All Hope, you know, Is Gone first, or it all just started building. But that's the beauty of getting back together, finding these jewels that just everyone works to connecting, and that's a real great
Well, it was
feeling.
one of the last songs we wrote, and I mean, we tracked drums, guitars, bass, whatever, and then vocals come in later. So I'd already, you know, worked on it, tracked it, whatever. Corey comes in the next day and does the vocals. I pop in the next day and get a burn of the CD and listen to it on the way home. And I'm immediately driving down the highway, sending texts to my manager going, dude, we have to call a record that. It's perfect. And apparently other people also did the same when they heard it. We never had like a band discussion, but it trickled in from enough different people when they heard that fucking, there you go. So that was the only discussion we had. I'm like, dude, it's got to be called this. Everybody else did the same thing, and then like 2 weeks later I hear, you know, our record's being called All Hope Is Gone. I'm like, perfect. We didn't have to have a formal meeting.
Talking of mixing up and the different styles of sets that you could do, I heard that there was a lot of psychedelic stuff almost that could form like another album or an album of outtakes from the songwriting process from All Hope Is Gone. Is that right?
That was a lot with Jim and Sean and Sid. When, you know, I was editing drums after I tracked, you know, they were, you know, before they could do guitars, they wanted to create. So they're like, yeah, man. So they set up in the house next to the studio and recorded some amazing stuff over there. You know,
There's a time that's always been an enemy of ours, you know, and with us having the Mayhem tour booked, and we knew that was a big clock ticking over our shoulders, you know, we tried to be as creative as we possibly could in the time that we had. And, you know, maybe someday that stuff will see the light of day, maybe it won't. I mean, it just all depends.
Do you think about what people expect from a Slipknot album in 2008? Does that thought process even enter your mind?
Not so much. I mean, we just kind of go for it, you know? I mean, our main mindset has always been, if we don't dig it, nobody's going to hear it. You know, we have to be a fan of the music first. And I think that's where a lot of bands fail, because they worry about what the fans are going to think, and they worry about if it's going to get on radio, and if it's going to get on MTV, and if it's going to get on, you know, Fuse or Music Plus. I mean, stuff like that. It's sad, man. You know, people didn't worry about that in the past. You know, I mean, true music comes from the heart. It always has been. It doesn't come from a checkbook, and we just try to continue that tradition.